Rookie, the first-time player for Morwell in Nick Wilson. In his first game, comes up against one of the most experienced ruckmen in the competition.
Yeah, we've just decided to follow a few guys and keep some stats, kicks, handballs and things. Some ball magnets from Morwell that we're following. Joel Suter is in number 6 for people at the ground. Rob Michaelides in number 18 and Manon Johnson number 23. For Wonthaggi, we've decided to follow Michael Kelly, who should be playing somewhere in the middle. He's right there now. And Byron Dryden, who's a rebounding centre half back who does have a habit of picking up a lot of marks and kicks as well. So they're the 5 players at the moment that we're following. If anyone makes a big start, we might just add them in as we go.
Interchange for Wonthaggi, Kane McCarthy, Jack Blair starting on the bench, and Phil Young.
So it's Joel Liddell and Aidan Lindsay in the middle, along with Michael Kelly, as we said. The umpires are about to get the game, about to get season 2015 underway in the TRFM Gippsland League. And Earl Shaw and Nick Wilson face each other for the first time in 2015. Up they go. Shaw gets a clean tap out. Liddell can't get it. Manon Johnson kicks it off the ground, straight out to the outer wing. There's no one there. Lindsay's chasing it first for the power. He picks it up, shrugs a tackle, goes back to his counterpart in the Liddell. Liddell squares it up into the middle when he finds Travis Krause in the middle. A quick handball off now from the power, who kicks it inside 50, but Matty Schultz coming out takes a strong mark. He switches the play, goes out a wing now to Manon Johnson, who takes a quick bounce. He looks up, he's got Joel Suter all free on the outer wing, just in front of the scoreboard. Got nowhere to go, the power defence pushed back on a good lead there. That looks like Derby lock for the first time. A good tackle by Shannon Bray, who causes him to kick up and down. There's a whistle and there's a free kick for a hold. It looks like it's Dom O'Connor in the back pocket for Wonthaggi. He's going to get the free kick against Daniel Hutchison.
A quick match-up down back for Morwell is Chunky Duncan's gone to Adam Cook and Brown has gone to Toma Hutha.
Interesting to see the power just steady the ship now. They kick it inboard. They've got it right on the 50. Liddell can't mark it. He handballs over top to Kelly, who gets it on to Coyne. Coyne can't quite get it now. Lockie Jones gets a clean hands. The power kick it inside 50. It's one-on-one with Duncan, and it's a good mark. He out-muscled Adam Cook for the first one. We
spoke earlier days about how Wonthaggi are going to utilise their tools up forward. That's 2 kicks now that have gone inside 50 for Wonthaggi for a defensive mark for Morwell.
It come to Joel Suter, who kicked a young Riley Hogarth through the middle of the ground. He decided to go out wide. He finds Matty Royal out there. He kicks a lovely kick to the leading forward in Daniel Hutchison, and about 40 metres out, Hutchison marks on his chest.
We spoke about structures at the start of the game, Scud. Structure for Wonthaggi, just bombing it inside 50. Morwell taking a defensive mark, and what a contrast. A beautiful bullet pass inside 50 to Hutch. The line up from about 30-35 metres on a 45-degree angle.
It was great play Hogarth had in the middle of the ground. He could go left and right, decided to go out wide, and the great kick by Royal hit up the target in Hutchison, who kicks it goal, and it's just to the near side. It's one behind. The first score in season 2015. You're listening to Gippsland Live, first quarter action brought to you by Harvey Norman Gippsland Store. Get the hottest prices and the latest technology now at your local Harvey Norman store.
Morwell have pushed their back 6 up to form a zone defence, and we'll see how that plays out as the ball's kicked in from Wonthaggi there.
So they look for Wiley, they can't mark. Handball now comes across for the power. A good shepherd by Earl Shaw, who's taken out young ruckman in Grinning. A kick along the boundary line. Schultz goes up, can't quite mark, but he's infringed. The free kick to Harley. He looks to play on, the umpire says bring it back.
A bit stiff there, Harley. I thought that might have been a chance for an advantage there.
Looked like it. There's about 80 metres out from goal. This is an important kick. Morwell got their numbers back pretty well at the moment. He squares it up. It didn't quite go the distance. They called play on. Young kicks it long to the top of the square, and a great mark running back. No, they didn't pay it in the end. Adam Cook running back with the flight of the ball. Took a mark on his chest, a bit of a debatable one. Michael Duncan asked the umpire the question, was it a mark making?
I would have called play on, but just a good kick there by Phil Young to the fat side of the 50 there, 15 metres out, slight angle.
So Cook puts it straight through the middle for the first for Wonthaggi.
Yeah, it all started, big shepherd by Earl Shaw on the wing here. Free kick one on the half-forward flank by Troy Harley. I'm not sure he meant to pass that ball into Phil Young there, but it paid off, and like I said, Young's kick to the fat side of the ground and a mark by Adam Cook and a goal.
Yeah, that mark you said, it was definitely directed at someone further along, but it probably made 15.3 metres when it was taken, I think.
So we're back in the middle there. The umpire's going to ball the ball up.
Wilson and Shaw again. Shaw gets a clean tap out, hits it straight down Liddell's throat, who can't quite get it. Coming through strong was Young, and he's been pinged for holding the football. He tried to take on 3 or 4, and Joel Suter gets the free kick right in the middle of the ground. On a big lead is Manon Johnson, but the kick can't quite get there, and it's picked off by Jack Blair on the half-back flank. Blair now just steadies the ship, looking for a target. He uses the football generally well, and that is a beautiful kick, but Huther can't quite mark the footy. He butters up okay. They've got numbers there. The umpire calls play on. Suter handballs out the back to Tatterson. Tatterson around his body. Blair picks it off now on the outer wing. The handball comes across. Blair runs on. That's Phil Young again. He's been in a fair bit of it. Blair gets it at half forward now. They're 60 metres out from goal, the Power. They're building, and a good kick inside forward 50. Finds the target. Nathan Jones takes the mark about 40 metres out from goal.
So that's twice now that this time the roles reversed. Morwell had the ball on the wing and kicked short to a 50-50, you could say, and it didn't come off. And Wonthaggi gone up the other end and utilised the ball inside 50 and get another mark inside 50 for a shot on goal.
So the shot on goal is a pretty good one as he starts to clap his hands, and that is straight through the middle, and that is Wonthaggi's second goal. They lead Morwell 2 straight 6. Morwell are only 1 behind at the moment.
And the old tradition of kicking the goal and coming off for a breather. The one thing I want to make note of is 2 guys that started on the bench in Jack Blair and Phil Young have both come on and had an impact straight away. Very crucial.
Yeah, it's mistakes like that Morwell are really going to have to eliminate. It's going to get very, very costly because Wonthaggi is making the most of their opportunities. They've gone inside 50 4 times for 2 goals, and that's incredible strike rate. A
couple of changes in the middle. Young grinning goes up, but Shaw just grabs the footy out. Locking at it is the captain, Gilliard, for the Power. He's not going to go anywhere, and he's decided, the umpire said, another hold in the ball. That's 2 in a row. The Power have tried to bust through the middle of the pack. And the free kick goes to the Tigers, and it's Ryan Tatterson. He looks up, and it's a poor kick inside again. And that's a pretty strong mark. He plays on quickly, just blazes away. Jack Brown gets a foot on it, and Matty Schultz takes the mark in the middle of the ground. A bit fortunate there for the Tigers.
Again, another scrappy kick going forward from all.
Just have a look at the back line of Wonthaggi. They got numbers back everywhere, as Matty Schultz had to come lateral to James Jacobson, first-time player for the Morwell side. And that's a poor kick. The kicks forward to centre for the Tigers have been ordinary. It comes across to Michael Kelly, who kicks it, and it was 1 on 2 on 1. He plays on quickly into the forward line. Adam Cook, and he just did enough there, James Jacobson from the Tigers, just to put enough pressure on Cook, who kicked the behind.
Well, he had to make up for his little error there in the middle of the ground. He did push back hard nicely, but costly turnovers again for Morwell. Hopefully that's not a trend that will continue for the rest of the game.
Wonthaggi set up the 3-4-5 zone press in their forward 50 as Brad Brereton plays onto himself. Gives himself a little bit of room. He kicks it outside 50. It's a lovely kick. Simon Noy out there takes a wonderful mark. About 70 metres out from Wonthaggi's goal on the half-back flank for the Tigers.
So again, more looking to build. It hasn't worked out for him so far. These short options, and again another one doesn't come off. It's a bit of a worry at the moment. Early signs there for Morwell. Another turnover from Joel Suter there.
It was. So Powell got the free kick. They come square inboard to Blair, who plays on, swings around, kicks it inside 50. They've gone to Cook every time. He can't make this because there's 3 on him. He's done well to get a foot onto that one, Blair. I should say Cook. He's kicked it backwards out. Comes out now to Gilliard, who's outside 50. Back to Gilliard. Steps inside. Kicks it inboard. There's lots of Tigers there, but it gets shagged by Kane McCarthy, it was, who kicks it up in the air. And in the goal square's Huther. Did he mark it? The umpire said no. And we're going to ball up right on the goal line. Huther and Cook. They've gone to Cook every single time they've gone inside 50, the Power.
Just about. They had a couple of hit-up targets, but yeah, deep inside 50 now, and Morwell have knocked it over the line for a rush behind.
So the score now on the scoreboard, we've got Wonthaggi 2-2-14 I should say, and Morwell the 1 behind.
The big thing that's letting Morwell down, obviously we've spoken about it quite a few times already, is their turnovers to short targets, both coming out of defensive 50 and also looking inside the middle there. They really need to rectify that.
Just got to look after the football a little bit more as they slow the footy up. They've taken the short option out of fullback. Brereton kicked at Chunky Duncan, who's right on the back line. There's not a great deal of movement out here for the Tigers. He had to go short again to Ryan Tatterson. He put him under the pump. As closing quickly for Wonthaggi was Philip Young. There's a free kick to Tatterson deep in the back pocket. We haven't moved too far in a couple of sessions. Kicks to Michael Funky Duncan right on the 50, on defensive 50. It's pretty crowded, and that's a pinpoint position kick to Joel Suter. So Suter kicks down the line. He's looking for his brother in Devon Suter, but Chris Wiley is way too tall for Devon, and he takes an uncontested mark, who comes short now. He finds Travis Krause right on centre wing, right on grandstand side here on Morwell. You're listening to Gippsland Live on TRFM, with all thanks to Harvey Norman Gippsland stores. Top tech deals on now at your local Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland store. Catalogue out now.
Quick kick inside 50, sees Nathan Jones running in, but he's missed to the near side down the freeway end. All sorts at the moment.
What about this post-up kick a couple of moments ago? Joel Suter had nowhere to go and had to post the kick up down the line. Unfortunately, Chris Wiley, who's about 6'3", up against Devon Suter, who's lucky to be 5 foot, not really the option you want to go to.
No, that's right. Joel Suter plays on from the behind. Again, kicking to a 2-on-2. This time it might pay off.
Simon Noy can't get a foot to it. They get a handball across. It comes now to Wonthaggi, kick it back inside 50. Here comes Cook, got to run and jump at it, and that is a great mark right inside 50. And that could be a big moment, because Cook has gone there, crack a 10-pack of Woodstock for only $28, because that was a big moment thanks to Monosalas.
Well, just come back and bit me then, didn't it? Just as I thought more were going to be away. Wonthaggi, of course, a turnover. Another long kick inside 50, and Cook takes a strong mark.
And Cook puts it straight through the middle for the Power. That's their third.
Yeah, ringing the changes here, Wonthaggi Power. Constantly got guys coming off the bench. Not much activity from Morwell's side of things. Movement through the middle for Wonthaggi has been quite impressive. Apart from that first couple of minutes, they've really turned that around. Morwell really struggling in that area.
May surprise you boys to know that Morwell have taken one more mark than Wonthaggi, but I think most of them have been on the end of about 20-metre kicks, which is... and it's a thing that does come unstuck. The more times you dispose of it, the more the chance is that you're going to lose it, and that's what's happened with Morwell. There's been a lot of turnovers.
Yeah,
when a team drops some numbers behind the ball, sometimes you have to go for that possession style play, but that's just not working for Morwell at the moment.
Grinning gets the tap out for the Tigers, but it's Wonthaggi reading it too well. Kane McCarthy kicks it, but well picked off by Brereton, who handballs just to no one. They're at centre half forward, the Tigers. Johnson tackles. There's gang tackling by the Tigers. It was Grinning and Brereton. Devon Suter goes in now. Head over the football, flicks it out. We're still in the middle of the ground. It's not going too far. The pressure's pretty good. The footy now pops out to the outer wing. That was Riley Lindsay on the outside. He gets a handball across now to Coyne. They haven't gone too far. We're still in the middle of the ground. Now it is Lindsay who kicks it forward. That was Ryan Lindsay kicking up to centre half forward. A good spoil there by Simon Noy. Has the Power get it back? A handball back now to number 3, Dominic O'Connor on the centre wing. They're just having a lot of rappel from the half-back line at the moment for the Power. Huther takes a mark as he leads up. Gives it off to the running Joel Liddell. Kicks it inside 50, but the lead. Cook comes out at it. He's got the footy. He's a long way out from goal. On his right foot, he squares it up, and the Power take a good mark. You'll pay that one. It was up in the air for a long time, and Aidan Lindsay gets this one about 35 metres out from goal. It was a great kick by Cook, wasn't it?
Yeah, fantastic kick. Obviously, he's kicked a couple already, Cook, but to square it up in a tight position to Aidan Lindsay there, very good team play there. Morwell just offering nothing across the half-forward line, really losing it there, as well as they're kicking through the middle.
Lindsay comes in and puts it through the middle for Wonthaggi's 4th goal, and that build-up could be the goal of the day, thanks to Bob Jane T-Mars Terrelgan. Best price guarantees on wheels and tyres.
Yeah, Morwell just winning. Wonthaggi just winning the ball in tight there, in a tight situation in the centre square, feeding the ball out the back, had some runners, nice hit-up targets. The kick inside 50 wasn't real flash, but Cook's done a good job to square it up to Aidan Lindsay, and he's finished off with a nice goal.
And it's been 8 inside 50s to none Wonthaggi's way over this last 7 or 8 minutes.
So back in the middle, Tomo Huther is in the ruck for Power, while Nick Wilson will face him. The umpire throws it up. Huther gets the first tap on, but it's sharked by Rob Michaelides. The first time we've seen Robbie. He got legged and then took a little bit too long. And they're paid holding the ball after the second Wonthaggi Power player came in Phil Young. And he's been involved in it quite a bit, Phil Young, hasn't he?
Yeah, he did start on the bench. I spoke about it earlier. He's had an impact since he's come on the ground.
So Young now comes to this other side. Number up goes Shannon Bray, can't quite mark it. Tigers have got plenty of numbers here. Hutchison crashes through the pack, puts it on the boot, kicks it forward, and Darby Lock in front position. They've got no one in the forward 50 of the Tigers, so Murphy kicks it laterally out to the scoreboard side and says, Rob Michaelides, you go and get it. He's leading Brian Dryden in for the run, but Dryden gets there first. Michaelides picks it up, swings inside, he steps inside. Dryden, he had a shot at goal, and right on the goal line, a great effort by Michaelides, but it was Chris Wiley punching it through for the Wonthaggi Power.
Yeah, quick kicking out to Shannon Bray out here on the wing. He looks to go further up the field to Travis Krause. Further up the field again to... Oh,
that was nearly out of bounds on the full.
That was to Cade Waters. He fumbled that over the line, but the boundary umpire didn't pick that one up. Lucky to get away with that one there.
So Waters gets it, he punches it in the middle of the ground. It's a beautiful kick by Waters, who releases the running Shannon Bray. He takes him on, he has one bounce, he kicks from 49 metres from goal. It's going long, straight through the middle, and that was a great play. That could be a goal of the day, thanks to Bob Jane T-Mart Tarogan, the best guarantee on wheels and tyres. Shannon Bray from the half-back line.
Cade Waters, a fantastic pass inside. Can be deemed as dangerous inside the centre square there, but hit it pinpoint. Can't remember who he passed to, but Shannon Bray running past for a handball, running inside 50 and kicking a beautiful goal. I noticed at the start, at that bounce there, he didn't have anyone to pick up across the half-back line. Still doesn't as such, and has worked his way around to the half-forward line, just floated around as a loose mid. No one picked him up, runs through and kicks a dangerous goal.
So we've gone 15 minutes in this first quarter, with all thanks to Harvey Norman Computer Store, and Wonthaggi lead 5-3-33 to Morwell, 2 behinds. Back in the middle, and it was Blair getting the quick hand off to Lindsay. Kicks in the forward line, but Simon Noy did very well. Jack Brown kicks another one off the ground. Here's Shannon Bray, that doesn't have an opponent at the moment, and a lovely little kick, but it's picked off by Matty Schultz for the Tigers. Earl Shaw was coming out on a long lead. And the Tigers' defence have certainly been under the pump. They've put an extra one back. They've got 7 defenders at the moment, the Tigers. And as we just saw, Shannon Bray now playing across half forward as a bit of a loose man. I'm sure they'll man him up. So the footy was cleared across to the outer side. They switched it up, and Matty Royal got the free kick, who squared it up board into the running Michael Funky Duncan. He then finds the young Riley Hogarth on the outer wing. There's not too much movement now. The forwards have already made their lead, but Hogarth just goes short. 25-metre kick to Manon Johnson on centre wing.
Yeah, this is where they're just offering nothing at the moment, Morwell, and their half forwards just can't get their hands on the footy. Their kicking is not real flash, and again we see the ball bottled up on the score, just out the front of the scoreboard there on the outer side, and they really need to do something all inside midfield. They're losing the clearances, I would dare say losing the tap outs, and they really need to find a spark from somewhere. Yeah, they do. So the boundary throw-in happened, and we've got another boundary throw-in straight away. I think it's centre-half forward. A couple of the forwards there, Appleton hasn't really had too much of an impact. Braden Darby Lock for the Tigers hasn't had a great deal too much. Hutchison's probably the only one that's leading out for them at the moment, and they need a bit more support from their high half forwards, I'd say. Wonthaggi structure up well. That should be a free kick. A high tackle to the falling ruckman, Nick Wilson. So he's got it about 49 metres out. He handballs quickly to Manon Johnson around the corner. It's a bit up in the air. Hutchison wrestles. There's a whistle, and it goes against Hutchison. And it's going to go to Matt Coyne, I think, in the deep on the last line of defence for Wonthaggi Power. So a short kick now. He finds his teammate McCarthy. McCarthy's got the footy in the back pocket up the town end of Morwell. He's got nowhere to go, kicks into the man on the mark to Hutchison, fends him off, drops the footy. He butters up. There's lots of power numbers here now, and O'Connor clears it out, gets a quick handball. Here they go, the power run. Lindsay, handball back to Kelly. Kelly kicks it out wide, finds Shannon Bray, and a good spoil by Simon Noy over the boundary line. Yeah, I'm just trying to follow who's going to pick up Shannon Bray. He started the half-back line, like you said. Moore's dropped one back, but at the moment it looks like Simon Noy has gone to him. First quarter action here on Gippsland Live. It is Morwell versus Wonthaggi from the Morwell Rec Reserve. Currently Wonthaggi lead. They've had a cracking first quarter, 5-3-33 to 2 behinds Morwell. The footy is out in front of the scoreboard. We've had 2 boundary throw-ins in a couple of seconds. We get a third straight up.
First thing Morwell have to do, they have to put a stop to the scoring they have for the last 4 minutes, which is something, but they really need to stop the flow of scores from Wonthaggi and then start putting a bit of pressure on themselves.
Joel Suter earns his free kick from the stoppage, and again, there's not much movement. Goes to Appleton, the new recruit for the Tigers, pushes off, can't get his hands to it, comes to ground, Byron Dryden into the back, picks it up, just walks over the boundary line, and the umpire says we'll throw this one in.
Yeah, Appleford, again, it comes down to delivery. Appleford just couldn't get his hands on the footy there. Kick wasn't real flash, but unfortunately for Morwell, it hasn't been real flash for the whole first quarter yet.
No, it hasn't. We're deep in the Tigers forward line. A chance for him now. A good hit out. Front spot was Suter. Couldn't get it. He's going to get a free kick, though. He didn't take the football, and it was actually... It wasn't. It was Rob Michaelides coming through there at 100 mile an hour who took the football, and he gets a free kick. Just as the ruckman went up, Michaelides was on the move, and I think that's important. You need your on-ballers on the move at those stoppages around the ground. So Michaelides has a shot. He's about 20 metres out on a slight angle with no breeze. There should be no excuse not to get the Tigers' first goal. And that's exactly what he does. He puts it straight through the middle, and that is the first for the Tigers.
Yeah, finally on the board. Rob Michaelides very good at hitting the packs at pace. Very elusive. Just very good at shrugging the shoulders, shrugging the hips and breaking tackles. That time just rolled the shoulders a little bit and got that too high and finished off with a nice goal.
So we've made it to the 20.5 minute mark, and we're on the Harvey Norman scoreboard. We have Wonthaggi 5-3-33 to Morwell 1-28, leading by 25 points.
So back in the middle, the umpire throws it up. We're into time on in this first quarter of the Gippsland League. Big clash, Morwell versus Wonthaggi. Joel Suter shags it, but he couldn't quite get the handball away. Now it's Stacks on the middle, in the middle of the ground, and Tatterson was at the bottom of it. Just a bit of a push. He's been nicely marked there by his Wonthaggi opponent. Again, Doug Grinning wins the tap over Huther, and there was another free kick from the Tigers. Probably had 3 or 4 kicks right in the middle of the ground. That one went to Michaelides, who gets it out to the new fella in Oliver. Oliver comes up to Devon Suter, who couldn't mark. Bray knocks it on now for power for his teammate McCarthy to go and get it. But there's too many Tigers around, and they jump on the footy. And the umpire says, we'll ball it up. We're on outer wing here at Morwell, whereas the Wonthaggi Power leading 33 to Morwell 8.
One thing with Morwell, what they have done in the last couple of minutes is just stem the flow around the stoppages. And as I say that, Wonthaggi break free.
As Kelly runs away with the football and delivers inside 50. There it is. Jack Brown comes across for the Tigers and chips it off. The leading Cook again, and I think every time they've gone in, Cook's been the target. So Brown goes out wide and couldn't quite find his teammate in Suter, who's been in everything for the Tigers. He gets wrapped up, and that's a hot decision by the umpire. He had 1 second to get rid of it, and he's pinged him. He's caught him holding the ball, and the fella there, Matt Coyne for Wonthaggi, gets the free kick for holding the ball.
Again, we see a turnover, a missed kick by Brown to an open Joel Suter on the wing.
That free kick may be the new AFL interpretation. You get the ball, you take a step, you're considered to be taking the man on, I think.
Absolutely. The ball went out of bounds, and we've got another boundary throw in. We're 22-minute mark of this first quarter here on Gippsland Live, with all thanks to Harvey Norman. Make sure you get down to your local Harvey Norman store. Top tech deals on now.
Yeah, just again knocked over by Dougie Grinding on the outer wing there for another boundary throw in. Just like I said, Morwell seem to have just grabbed a hold of the game in the last couple of minutes and just stemmed the flow for Wonthaggi, able to kick a goal themselves, and we'll see if they can just build on that.
So Huther gets his clear hand on the footy, handballs off to the front and square in Liddell. Liddell now kicks it onto the forward 50. There's numbers back for the Tigers. That's Oliver, gets a quick handball to Noy, who can't control it, and it goes out of bounds about 54 metres out from Wonthaggi's goal deep in this first quarter.
Yeah, just a little bit scrappy there from all in getting the ball outside defensive 50, but we do see some defensive structure there now at the moment. Just stem the flow again.
There's lots of numbers around this contest. There's no forwards in the Morwell half. Darby Lock now comes up into the middle of the ground, and that means there's no forwards for the Tigers in their forward 50. The footy comes in now for power, but Jack Brown, as he has done a number of times in this first quarter, comes across the front and takes the mark. He squares it to Chunky Duncan, who kicks it out the wide to Royal, who can't mark. He goes to ground. He's got company now from Power. As he gets tackled on the ground without the football, Gilliard grabs him. Power was there with Nathan Jones, and he gets himself a free kick for over the shoulder. So Jones has got it about 60 metres out. Numbers back for the Tigers. Oliver, a wingman, gets back for the Tigers. They go long to Shaw. He's one out and he takes a great mark, and that could be a big moment.
That could be a big moment. Crack a 10-pack of Woodstock for only $28 because that was a big moment thanks to Monticello's. The big Duke, Earl Shaw, lining up for goal, 15 metres out. Reeled it in with the massive mitt, one-handed, and finishes. No, he doesn't. He's just hooked it across the face of goal for a behind.
Yeah, it was a very good workout by the Wonthaggi power side. They had lots of numbers, the Tigers in the defence. However, they led up at the football, created the space, and it was at the end, it was a one-on-one contest, and Earl Shaw just put the one hand out. Couldn't quite finish.
Morwell had done a good job over the last 10 minutes anyway. The fifth goal from Wonthaggi was scored by Shannon Bray at the 15-minute mark. We've now got to the 24, almost 25-minute mark. So the last 9 or 10 minutes, Morwell have stopped that flow of goals. Looked at one stage, it might have been about an 8 or 9 goal quarter for Wonthaggi.
They've certainly had plenty of inside 50s, and that was a gimme. I think that should have been marked down as a goal. But it's Brereton who kicks it in only just, and Michael Chunky Duncan finds it in the back pocket for the Tigers. Had to work hard for it. He's looking to switch. He's got Matt Royal over there. Will he go there? No, he goes short to Tatterson, back in the goal square for Power. Shaw runs up, puts lots of pressure on Tatterson as he's a very tough kick in football, this one. It's a turnover. Power swoop on it, Gilliard. It comes to Kelly, who snaps at goal, and that puts it straight through. And Kelly's been in a lot of things today. He's going very well for a best on ground. That is a Sale Greyhounds best on ground. See the dogs fly this Sunday at the Sale Greyhound Twilight Races. Entry is free.
Yeah, coming out of the back line there, another turnover. Bit of a tough ask for Chunky Duncan and Ryan Tatterson. I was just looking at the wing position here when they had the ball deep in their defensive 50. There was just no movement up the line. A couple of opportunities there for a player just to lead up and provide a 20-30 metre target, but no one was moving, Scud, and unfortunately had to take the risk and go for a short target. It didn't come off, and a goal was kicked there for Kelly.
Absolutely, and it looks like the Tigers have just gone back to their traditional 6 defenders. As new recruit for the Tigers, Appleton goes into the ruck. He got his hand on it, but no one could get it. They're sort of sharked by Travis Krause, who gets a quick kick out in front of Adam Cook. He works his player, Jack Brown, inside out. Cook swoops on it. He has a shot, flying shot from 40 out, but pushes this one, and that's another behind for the Power. They go to 6-5-41, well, Morwell 1-2-8.
There's those tools, the matchups we were talking about. Adam Cook getting a hold of there. Big Earl Shaw up forward. Might be a matchup that Dean Warren needs to look at the quarter-time break.
Had about 3 players mix things up out of full-back, and this time it's Schultz. He plays on, steps inside. It's a poor kick. It comes back with interest. Shaw swings around. No, he doesn't. He handballs back to Blair, who now handballs again. Inside, comes back to Shaw, who puts another behind on the score, and Shaw has missed from 12 metres out, and another behind, and just letting the Tigers off late.
Again, I hate to harp on it, mate, but it just keeps on happening. Short kicks coming out of the back 50, just not hitting their targets, or they're making the wrong decisions, and it's proved costly a couple of times. Luckily for them there, they were able to get away with just a behind.
So Michael Duncan gets the football out of fullback now, and I'm tipping this is going long. Exactly where it goes. 60 metres out, looks for his tall in Jack Brown, who takes a very good mark, but wasn't paid.
Yeah,
and
we did see one paid earlier on, deep in the forward line, I believe, for Cook. Not paid there for Brown.
The Tigers haven't quite got their numbers off the back of the pack here. They could pay, but it comes to Suter, who gets claimed quickly. Funky Duncan come crashing through the pack and gets a kick forward. Leading in the chase is O'Connor for the Power. Darby Lock puts a good pressure on him. And there is the siren to end the first quarter here at Morwell. We're away in the Gippsland League. This is Gippsland Live on TRFM, with all thanks to Harvey Norman. Get the hottest prices, latest technology now at your local Harvey Norman Gippsland computer store. The first quarter's all done. Power 6-5-41, Morwell 1-2-8.
From hardware, paints and power tools to power...
I'm very happy with what's going on. Likes how they lower their eyes and hit up. And doesn't want any uncontested marks inside their forward 50.
Well, he won't be happy. The opening bounce of the second quarter goes straight to Wonthaggi. They kick it inside 50, but Matty Schultz for the Tigers picks it off right on the 50-metre line. He squares it up now, looking for Michael Chunky Duncan. He's had a pretty good first quarter. And this is, of course, Gippsland Live, the second quarter, with all thanks to East Coast Home Timber and Hardware, Stock Street and Lakes Entrance. The footy now comes down to the outer wing. It's Appleton who swings around on his right foot. High contact there by the big
paid the
ruckman
second time
in
there.
Earl Shaw, and he's in a bit of strife, young Matty Royal. He gets up a little bit proper. He's looking for a handball, I'm tipping. He can't give it to anyone. Tries to get a little bit of contact from Kraus. Doesn't get it. So Royal squares it up inboard to Joel Suter, who's clearly been Morwell's best in the opening half, but that's about it. So Suter now goes short to the leading in Simon Noy. That's better. Bit of a lead up. Jack Brown's pushed forward. Do they go to him? No, they don't. Well, they took a little bit long to get to him. Now they go to him. But he still gets it, Jack. He's 60 metres out from goal. Funky Duncan runs on from the half-back flank. He ignores him. Kicks it deep in the forward line. Looking for the tall target. Over the back. It's Hutchison. Swings. Handball out. Gives it out to Tatterson. Spins around on his right foot. Gets smothered. The Power have done well. And it's Shannon Bray who cleans it up for the Power, who kicks it outside 50. He had one thing in mind, and that was to go straight out of bounds, and exactly what he did. The umpire said it's all fair, we'll ball this one in.
A little bit better there for Morwell. The hit-up targets, again, you've got to execute them, and they did that on that occasion. Jack Brown just wasn't real happy with his kick going inside 50. Didn't give their forwards much of a chance.
He had Funky Duncan too, pushing really hard from a half-back flank, who made some space, but he decided to ignore him. So the footy's about 80 metres out from Morwell's goal. Shaw gets his first hand on it. It comes straight down to Aidan Lindsay, who gets a kick around the corner. The Tigers are positioned pretty well. Wilson's the first one back there, the young Tiger. He doesn't get it though. It's Phil Young who kicks it, but it goes out of bounds, and the umpire says we'll ball this one in. The boundary umpire is some 70 metres away from where the ball went out of bounds.
Yeah, quick kick forward there. A bit unlucky there, Cook, not to snaffle that one up, although he would have been having a shot from wide on the boundary.
Set plays from deep in the forward 50 will be interesting to watch. They've manned up reasonably well for the Tigers. It looks like Matty Royals just giving Travis Krause a little bit of space off the back of this pack. The umpire's blowing the whistle.
The
free kick
from the centre square there is called a holding the man free kick there.
Didn't see that one. Michael Kelly is the recipient of the free kick. He's 40 metres out from goal. They're kicking towards the town end here at the Morwell Recreation Reserve. And he's, what's happened here? There's been a free kick down the field. It's 50 metres, and the free kick will happen right on the goal line. So it looks like someone's had a brain fade for the Tigers, and they've given away a free kick. No one's even manning the mark. Simon Noy comes in to man it, but it don't matter. It's right on the goal line, and for the Power, open up this second quarter. Michael Kelly puts it straight through the middle. Yeah,
Coach Dean Warren's not going to be very happy with that. Giving away not only a free kick off the ball there, but it's unforgivable giving away a 50-metre penalty inside 50 and making an easy shot on goal there for Wonthaggi.
Yeah, the undisciplined acts is just something you cannot afford. I mean, especially with the lead blowing out at the way it is at the moment. What Morwell need to do is the absolute opposite. They need to be disciplined. They need to stick to their tasks. They need to follow the team plan, because they're really going to have to not let Wonthaggi get away the way they got in that first quarter of the game. Will be over halfway through the second term.
So Kelly in the midfield along with Blair. They hit it, Shaw hits it towards Blair. He can't get it though. Michaelides picks it up. Handballs to the running Johnson, who's very quick on his feet. He gathers quickly in front of opponent. McCarthy delivers to Oliver, the new recruit for Morwell from the VFL. Oliver's about 60 metres out. He goes long, looking for the tall target. Hutchison goes up. He can't mark it. Well crumbed by Locke. Locke snap around the corner. It's a good one, and right on the goal line, Matty Royal takes the mark. It was called touched.
It might have been, touched off the boot there.
Touched off the boot
there, Matty Royal.
And he got pushed over the line, and it is at one behind for the Tigers. That was a better build-up, and it looked like Manon Johnson's gone into the middle of the ground. Certainly will add a little bit of pace for the Tigers through the midfield.
Notice the Morwell forwards all started deep there just to try and open up that centre corridor, and it paid off.
Johnson again as they kick out a full-back. He gets it on 50. Handballs to Suter, to Jack Brown. He spins, kicks nowhere. Funky Duncan in front. He gets a strong tackle from Brian Dryden, and the umpire says, my ball. We haven't seen much of Dryden's attacking run just yet.
Plenty of time for that yet, and big tackle there on the half-forward line.
Shaw lets it roll down his arm in the ball up about 70 metres out from Morwell's goal, kicking towards the highway end. It's the second quarter here on Gippsland Live. It's thanks to East Coast Home Timber and Hardware, Stock Street in Lakes Entrance. Tradies, serious DIYers, or doing odd jobs around your house, go to where the tradies go. That is East Coast Home Timber and Hardware.
We've got Schultz just playing a loose man down back for Morwell there. Maybe going back to pick up a different opponent to allow, Jack Brown to play free there.
That's what we spoke about before the game, wasn't it? Get that mismatch for Jack Brown. They've got the extra one back. So Powell win this stoppage on centre half back. It was Riley Lindsay who got the kick. a big, strong clash of bodies between the teammates there. Nathan Jones went up, nearly kneed his teammate in Lucas Lockie Jones, I should say, in the head. The umpire after that called my ball.
Great courage there by Riley Hogarth to run back with the flight of the ball as well.
Hogarth just gets dished off the back of the pack from a shepherd from Jack Blair. It now comes to Nathan Jones. He's been lively. Kicks inboard. It got smothered a little bit. A quick handball there by Cade Waters, the first gamer for the Power. It comes out now to Phil Young, who goes backwards. Looks like McCarthy kicks it inside 50. Here's Cook. Works his way into the footy. He gets it now. Swings, snaps on his right foot. Bouncing, and straight through the middle. And Adam Cook has his third goal for the afternoon.
Yeah, he's playing quite well, Cook, providing a tough matchup there for Morwell. Probably needed to look at something there, does Dean Warren, in getting that right matchup. But again, I'm going to go back to Phil Young. We spoke about him in the first quarter, had a hand in that goal there, and he's providing some good drive off the bench. Comes to the bench for a breather, and Rob Ralton, and just having a chat to him now, just probably giving him a good pep up because he's been quite well.
Some really good backing up just outside 50 for Wonthaggi that in that play where they had one, then two, then three players, and they had options, and that was the difference there, and they got the ball up to where Cook's converted.
So again, the Power go forward out of the middle of the ground. It's Michael Kelly, kicks it to 50. They are all over the Tigers in this second quarter. It's picked up now by Waters. He spins back onto his right foot, kicks it to the hot spot where he is. No, Chunky Duncan read the footy really well for the Tigers and marks in front of Cook. He squares it up, comes to this side now, gets it out to Funky Duncan. Same name, different brother. So Funky Duncan deep in the back line. He's got nowhere to go, there's no movement. He's just going to have to go long down the line. At least this time it's to Appleford, who takes a really strong mark. The first time we've seen him, Big Apples, and that was the kick they wanted in the first quarter. When they get in a little bit of strife, they need a bit of an out kick, and that's the one where the tall target. But unfortunately, they've kicked it to nobody, and Brian Dryden takes a footy on the bounce. He handballs now out wide to McCarthy. He goes back down the line. The Power look to set themselves. Right spot was Nathan Jones, who took him on and got tackled from behind, and Joel Suter got the free kick for holding the footy. So Suter quickly plays on now to Tatterson. They're on half-back, who just nearly got the kick. He did get the kick, actually, in the end, to Oliver. First kick's a bit low, Oliver. Doug Grinning got his legs taken out from underneath him. Looks a little bit proppy as he gets up. The Power now swoop on it. It's Aidan Lindsay who pumps it forward into the forward line. One-on-one, they fly. And it's over the back. Has it been touched? It's running. It could be a goal. The umpire says no one's got any idea. The umpire says, your call, goal umpire. This will be a goal for the Power. And it's trickled through for Wonthaggi's ninth goal for the afternoon. And on the East Coast Home Timber and Hardware scoreboard, it is Wonthaggi 9-5, leading Morwell 1-3.
Again, that could be a big moment, a big Monticello's moment, refreshing Summersby side at 10 packs for only $20, because that was a big moment. The ball over the back.
It was a monster of a kick. We couldn't even tell actually who kicked the footy when it come in, but it was a massive kick, and it just rolled and rolled and rolled as the forward and the defenders clashed some 30 metres out from goal.
El Shaw's out of the middle there, and we've got
Huther in the middle.
Huther in the middle.
Flicks it off to Joel Liddell. Doesn't get it. Simon Noy kicks it to centre half forward. Riley Hogarth leads up with the footy. Gets a good hand on it. Tatterson back to Hogarth. Hogarth on his left foot kicks it out wide. Hasn't quite put Manon Johnson in the right spot. So it's Johnson and Coyne, the two little fellas, straight at it. Jacobson out there as well. Haven't heard much of him this afternoon. And the ball goes out of bounds on the half forward flank for the Morwell side at the highway end here at the Morwell Recreation Reserve. That could just about have been a goal of the day. The Bob Jane T-Mart Terrelgan goal of the day. Best guaranteed prices on wheels and tyres. As the footy comes back in, Simon Noyes had a little bit of it up the back of the pack. Can't quite get his hands, and James Jacobson took him on. The advantage had been played for the Power. It's Jack Blair, gets it right on 50, takes a good mark in front of his opponent in Jack Brown. He's looking to square it up. He kicks to the top. Oh, it's a great kick. Travis Krause leading back with a flight of the ball, and Krause inside 50 just led his opponent, and that is Oliver on a 70-metre lead, I'd say. He took off from inside the square, ran inside 50, took it running with the flight of the ball, and Jack Blair was just a little bit too smart, and he hit up his Power teammate as Travis Krause puts another one through for the Wonthaggi Power.
Well, that one all started back on the outer wing there, the boundary throw-in. Wonthaggi won the contested ball. It spilled out to Jacobson, and it was a fierce tackle. I couldn't see who the tackle was from. A fierce tackle won the free kick. Advantage play on, hit up Jack Blair, and his kick was spot on out there to Krause to finish off with a nice goal.
Well, what's happening now is what we hoped wouldn't happen to Morwell, and it's a run of goals to Wonthaggi. The last 7 minutes they've kicked 4 goals, and it was just the way it opened up in the first term, around about that same stage of that first quarter where they got that first clutch of goals.
So back in the middle, it's Wilson up against Huther. No one got a clear tap out, but the footy bounces back in Huther's hands. He handballs out wide to Krause on the wing, who then gives it. They're just going a little bit harder and faster at the moment, the power. A quick handball by Liddell goes back to Krause, who gets tackled as he straight away got it, but that's holding the footy. And it is Matt Royal who's got the footy on the half-back flank for the Tigers. They've gone short again, but this time he finds Rob Michaelides on the outer wing here at Morwell. As Troy Harley mans the mark, there's nowhere to go, nobody leading for the Tigers, they're all flat-footed.
There's just no movement whatsoever.
So they've had to go short, a 10-15 metre kick to Ryan Tatterson, and he goes short again. So they're working their way around the Tigers, but it's Matt Royal again who pushed forward. He looks up, a shocking kick forward, it's going to be a turnover, the power swoop on it. Now the Tigers come in, they finally get to the contest, and the umpire says it'll be my ball, we'll bounce this one up. Not enough movement for me for the Tigers. They are not using the football well enough, and they're just not working hard enough to get that front position and really get down and dirty and get that footy. Wonthaggi very good in the trenches. As they clear this football out of the package, it was Kane McCarthy, kicks it long and high. This time Jack Brown leads for the footy in front of Cook. Looks like there could be a change in the back line there for the Tigers. Jack Brown's just gone down.
Yeah, it looks like they've made the change. Jack Brown's gone to Cook, and Chunky Duncan's gone to Big Earl Shaw's, plonked himself right in the goal square.
So we're up 60 metres out from goal from Wonthaggi Powers' goal. It's a boundary throw in just in front of the scoreboard here at Morwell. This is Gippsland Live on TRFM. Wilson butters up his own tap and gets a kick. He's kicked it to the middle of the ground. Comes through is Funky Duncan, but he's wrapped up in a tackle pretty quickly by Shannon Bray, and Travis Krause was in there as well.
Don't know if you got the clearances there, Paul, but I reckon that was the first clearance I've seen from all for this quarter.
That's the second, actually, and 9-2, though. That's a tail there. Earl Shaw absolutely dominated the first 5 or 6 minutes of this quarter.
Well, they just got another clearance through Travis Krause, the up and air kick right on 50, and it's been marked by Michael Kelly, who's got a free man inside forward 50, and that is straight to Aidan Lindsay. So he's on the half-forward line. He's on a 45-degree angle. He's probably about 40 metres out from goal. And it was just the clearance again. It come out to Krause, who kicked it in to, it was Aidan Lindsay, and then Lindsay was smart enough to lower his eyes.
It's actually the other way around. Michael Kelly
kicked to
Lindsay.
Stood
under a high ball and kicked a nice pass out to Lindsay.
So Lindsay from 45, we're directly behind this. It's just gone away to the right and it's missed as it's punched through. Didn't quite make the distance for the Power. They move to 10-6, 66, leading Morwell quite comfortably at the moment, 1-3-9.
Well, one thing that's really stood out so far, Scud, is the midfield for Morwell. It's almost non-existent. Joel Suter's the only one really firing a shot in there. We really need to look around to find someone else to go through there and help him out.
Yeah, absolutely. They looks like they've cleared it out to Michael Chunky Duncan on this outer side. Up goes Jack Brown again. He can't quite get it. He spends a bit of time on the ground, Jack. He looks like he could be a little bit proppy at the moment, as it was Jack Blair who got the footy, but crashing through again, Aidan Lindsay.
That could be huge.
Around the corner, and take your pick. Is that a
goal
big
of the day or Monticello's big moment? Who knows? But that was a cracking goal by Aidan Lindsay. Makes up for the ones that he sprayed across the goals there. The one thing that stood out for me there, Scud, was the amount of numbers just around the fall of the ball. Wonthaggi just swamped it, had the numbers there. Aidan Lindsay just put his head down and attacked that footy 100 miles an hour, and that could be our big moment of the day. Cracker, 10-pack of Woodstock for only $28. That was a Monticello's big moment.
Absolutely was, and it was Aidan Lindsay. We talk about hitting the contest hard. It is Kelly, Lindsay, Jack Blair's been in there as well. Joel Liddell goes into the middle now, and they're just, which I thought the Morwell on-ball brigade would be very strong at doing, and that's probably their best asset, is winning that contested foot in the middle. At the moment, it's been non-existent.
In the middle at the moment, we've got Michaelides, Devon Suter, and it looks like Tatterson, but almost non-existent.
It is Kelly up in the middle. Kelly in the middle as well. He works his way around to the back, but it's Tatterson this time, busting through. Handballs to no one, though. Here goes Jack Blair, who swoops on it. Gives the quick handball across to Lockie Jones, who kicks inside 50. Doug Grinning goes up and spoils the opponent, and Troy Harley from Wonthaggi. Harley now butters up, though, kicks it to the top of the square, but Michael Chunky Duncan's there, and he handballs off to the cool Brad Brereton, who kicks a beautiful kick under pressure to Michael Ladies. They play on quickly now, the Tigers. Comes to Schultz. They're now outside 50, only just after the ball was smothered. In goes Hogarth, gets a high tackle but a good handball. Picked off now by McCarthy for the power. Swinging now, comes to Coyne. Coyne back to McCarthy. McCarthy handball for the power into Gilliard, who drops his head but is good enough to recover. Kicks it in far side 50, looking for Cook. He landed awkwardly, then Cook. Chunky Duncan did very well. Sorry, it was
Troy Harley.
Matt Murphy that did well there, but a good mark as they kick out of the back line, the Tigers, and it was Shannon Bray. And an interesting one, Shannon Bray accidentally just had a boot in the top of the head of the Morwell player, and it's a reversal. So the umpire's seen this one. This is an interesting one.
No, I don't think I think he's actually paid downfield against Appleford, which is quite a soft call there. Appleford's come in and bumped Bray as he's kicked the ball down inside 50 after that little indiscretion for Shannon Bray on
Matt Royal.
It looked like. Yeah, pretty soft free down the ground free kick. I can understand why Appleford did it. All it was just a side bump that you'd see 90, 100 times in a game of football, and
so just it looked like that Shannon Bray, as he was getting up off the ground, put his foot down close to Matty Royal's head. It wasn't certainly intentional, I don't think. It looked like he was standing to get up, and that's when Appleford come in and remonstrated. The downfield decision was paid, and Adam Cook has kicked his fourth for the afternoon for Wonthaggi, and this is getting a little out of hand for the Tigers.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell from up here, Scud, whether what was in that little altercation there on the boundary. It looked like maybe Bray had his leg held onto by Matty Royal. Again, not a lot in that free kick. I really struggle to find that as a down the ground free kick. May not have had any difference in that. I think it was marked by Adam Cook in the forward line. But
maybe in the umpire's opinion, he may have thought it was just a little late. It was just minute timing, maybe, but there didn't seem a lot of time between the kick and the bump, though, did there?
So we're back in the middle now here at Morwell, and Huther and Wilson go up. Huther gets the hands on it, but Rob Michaelides grabs a footy from him for the Tigers. Kicks it inside 50 as a wobbler. Hutchison front and square, right on 50. Snaps with his right foot. Suter and Coyne wrestle in the goal square, the two smallest fellas on the field. Appleford now comes in. Can't get it. Suter off the ground, but it goes through for a minor behind. They need something, the Tigers. They've got a spark somewhere.
Yeah, it looks like Rob Michaelides is starting to amp up the pressure a little bit in the middle and provide some help for Joel Suter there.
So power come in. They kick to Ryan Lindsay now. Lindsay comes to this close side near the scoreboard. Here's Bray. He's too tall for Menon Johnson. Takes a good mark over the top. He plays on quickly now. Gets it to centre wing. Here comes Jack Brown over the top. They spoil each other, the Tigers. As Noy comes in and can't get the football. Jack Blair for the power. Stands up in a tackle. Delivers inside 50 to Earl Shaw, who marks, plays on, runs his measure, has a bounce and kicks it through the middle. And that could be a goal of the day, with all thanks to Bob Jane T-Master Elgin. The best price guaranteed on wheels and tyres.
I'm going to take this one all the way back to Shannon Bray. We spoke about him in the first quarter. He's being loose across half-back for Wonthaggi because Morwell want to have a loose behind play as well. Where the winner is Wonthaggi, because Shannon Bray has had a massive influence not only on this quarter but on the game. No one's going to come up and pick him up, so he just floats across the half-back line and just works his way forward when Wonthaggi win the ball. Still, as we speak, mate, no one's going to go and pick him up, and he's just floating across half-forward line. They're just going to leave him free, and he's going to damage you any day of the week.
And even right now, he is still loose on a half-forward flank for Wonthaggi. No one has gone to him still yet. We've had a contest in the middle of the ground. It's going to come to him here. Lindsay's got it. Goes out to Wiley, who Wiley kicks it out on the leading forward there, and that is Phil Young, who's just died off a little bit in this quarter. Had a really cracking first quarter. Jack Blair has certainly come around. He kicks it inside 50 to the leading target in Shaw, just at his feet. The big fella couldn't get down. A free kick is being played to Oliver over the shoulder for the Tigers, the new recruit for Morwell, in Corey Oliver, deep in the back pocket for the Tigers.
Yeah, the critical thing we just touched on there, Scott, is that who we got? Oh, sorry. Phil Young has gone a bit quiet, but Jack Blair, he's been super this quarter so far.
He's certainly stepped up, and it's not so much just a where he's getting the football, it's how he's using the football as well. He's kicking inside 50 to leading targets, and when you're an elite ball user like Jack Blair is, it's going to hurt you. So we've got a free kick. There's 50 metres paid to young Corey Oliver, and now he stands just backwards of centre, right in the middle of the ground. He comes out wide to this grandstand side. It's Braden Darby-Lock, the young fella. Tiger takes the mark on centre wing. He plays with a handball and puts Jack Brown under the pump. He grabs the footy, who drops the footy, but the umpire says he got rid of it, and you, my friend from Power, just kept hold of him for a little bit longer, and it's a free kick for holding the man for Jack Brown.
Can understand what Braden Darby-Lock was trying there to create that overlap handball, but just need to have a bit more awareness as to who was behind Jack Brown there.
And it was very well telegraphed too, that what he was about to do, so gave him plenty of time to get onto Brown.
Now Jack Brown looks like he's either done a finger or a hand, I reckon. He might even come off in a minute, but his kick goes forward to nobody in particular. Lots of power numbers. In there was Lindsay, and it was Jack Blair as well.
I'll just keep an eye on Brown for you there, mate.
Yeah, Darby-Lock just grabbed the footy, and the umpire said my ball after he got tackled from a couple of Wonthaggi Power players. So a ball up right on half-forward flank for the Tigers. They're currently in a little bit of strife. They're down by 74 points deep in this second quarter, 21st. Manon Johnson swoops on the loose ball, and normally that's his bread and butter, and he couldn't put that one through. That's a behind for the Tigers. Yeah. They move to 1-5-11 to Wonthaggi 13-6-84.
Highlights like that have been few and far between for Morwell so far, as Wonthaggi bring the ball out to the outside of the ground, other side of the ground. Joel Little swoops on a loose ball.
Kicks it out to the outer wing now, just in front of the scoreboard, and Doug Grinning leads the chase. He gets to it first, gets a handball, just handballs to nobody, and it goes out of bounds. The umpire said that was fair enough, and we'll ball it in. We've gone 22-minute mark in this first quarter here on Gippsland Live, with thanks to East Coast Home Timber and Hardware and Stock Street Lakes Entrance. For all those serious DIYers out there or doing odd jobs around your home, make sure you go where the tradies go.
Yeah, one thing Dean spoke about at quarter time is their intensity and pressure, and still lacking. Still no lift there.
Here's a chance for the Tigers. It comes to Royal in the middle of the ground, gives it across to Riley Hogarth, who kicks to the advantage of Apples, who can't mark it. Appleford has to go back and put in a second effort in. Darby-Lock picks it up, stands up in the tackle, handballs to Matty Royal. Matty Royal kicks. This should be a goal for the Tigers, but no, he misses again. They cannot buy a goal, the Tigers. 1-6-12. And the last couple of times they've moved forward, the Tigers, they really need to get a couple of goals and put a bit of pressure on.
It was the first two consecutive inside 50s from all since the first two inside 50s of the match.
Well, they've kicked 7 straight this quarter, Wonthaggi, and the Tigers had the chance to kick a couple of goals in a row and couldn't capitalise. So the kick comes back in, a very good lead up forward there by the young fella in Cade Waters, the first gamer. He handballs off to McCarthy, his teammate, kicks it high and long. Cook can't mark it at centre half forward. Jack Brown and Cook, they both fight. Cook keeps his feet, he's still in front of it. Jack Brown off the back. Cook gets a handball across now to his teammate in Liddell. And Liddell goes wider across to Lockie Jones, who squares it up and finds a teammate, Jack Blair. The umpire said it was touched. Play on, he got tackled. Power still pressing. The Tigers get their numbers back, and they've got the good numbers now, and this will be a ball up surely as the Tigers wrap it up right in the middle of the ground at true centre half forward in the attacking side of Wonthaggi Power.
The difference between these two teams so far has been their transition from defence to attack. Morwell's very slow, very inefficient. Wonthaggi hitting up their teammates beautifully and going inside 50 at ease. And long kicks too, Troy. When they get it, they're kicking 40, 50 metres at least. There's none of the 20-metre possession kicks.
So the ball up now is on the half-back flank for the Tigers. Over the back now is Oliver. He swoops on it, can't quite get his hands to it. Power jump on the footy. Oliver still fighting for the ball down there with Jack Blair. And the umpire says, my ball. We've got another ball up right inside. We haven't moved too much in a couple of minutes of play. We're inside the forward 50 though for Wonthaggi. The two ruckmen separate. They come together again. Wilson gets his first hand on it. No one was there. Lindsay was in the best spot it was Liddell for the Power. But Michaelides grabbed the footy, and the umpire again says, my ball up. And we're 24 minutes into this second quarter here on Gippsland Live. The umpire again, it's a bit of just a stalemate at the moment. Lots of numbers around the football.
The one thing that's standing out is Wonthaggi continually getting first hands on that footy. Even if they're getting held up, they're first hands on the ball.
Wilson seems to be getting the first tap when he's up against Huther, but they're not capitalising. The Tigers clear this one away. A quick kick out now finds Manon Johnson on the wing. Johnson now looks forward for Appleton. Appleford just doesn't look quite right up there at the moment. He gets a free kick here as Shannon Braid jumps in his back. So it's Apples for the Tigers, the new recruit. James Appleford kicks it inside forward 50 to a 1-on-3. The power. Matty Royal did really well for the Tigers, but the weight of numbers for Wonthaggi just clear it out, and it was Byron Dryden who cleared it out to Bray, who rushes it over the boundary line. A poor kick then by Appleton.
Yeah, he had some teammates screaming for the ball inside, just inside him and squaring it up, which could have opened up the other side of the ground, but he decided to go long down the line.
So can the Tigers get one before half-time here? Michaelides gets front and square. He jumps on the footy. Power jump all over the top of him.
Yeah, a bit stiff there not to get a free kick there, Rob. Yeah, just got swamped. He has lifted the work rate for Morwell. It's only him and Joel Suter that are carrying the midfield at the moment.
Wilson gets front spots for the Tigers, gets a first hand on it. Now it's Ryan Tatterson. Puts his head down, and we've got another ball up. This ruck contest between young Nick Wilson, the first gamer for the Tigers, and Thomas Huther has been a good one. Wilson gets front spot. This time, though, Huther gets a fist to it. Clears the little congested area, and we've moved 10, 15 metres, but it goes out of bounds, and 26-minute mark. It's Wonthaggi 13-6-84. Lead Morwell 1-6-12. It has been a one-way traffic at the moment for the Wonthaggi power side. They've certainly started well. So Wilson gets a tap to Michaelides, who's front, gets a handball to Devon Suter. Suter squares it up on his left foot. It's a shocker, but it hit the target in Manon Johnson on a good, strong lead from the half-forward line.
The importance of winning the ball in the contest, in a clearance there. Rob Michaelides spoke about that, how he's good at hitting the ball ups at pace. Did it again there perfectly.
So it was Devon Suter who took the grab, handballed across to his brother in Joel Suter, who played on quickly and put it through for the Tigers, and that is their second goal in this second half of the game of the football, because they needed that one. Wonthaggi kicked 6 straight, and that was the first time that the Tigers have hit the score this quarter.
We do apologise for the lack of enthusiasm there, but Morwell really haven't given us much to go by at the moment, and again, Joel Suter, the one flying the flag for Morwell. He's got a lot of passengers though, unfortunately.
He has 27-minute mark of this second quarter, and that's only their second goal. So in the middle of the ground at the moment, we've got, it's Tatterson, Funky Duncan and young Riley Hogarth, where for the power, Aidan Lindsay's in there, Callie's in there, and this man gets it. It is Joel Liddell, who handballs across quickly to a teammate in Gilead, kicks it inside forward 50. Cook leads up. Jack Brown stops, tackles him. Cook gets her hands out. It comes back to Cook. The Tigers have got plenty of numbers back. They'll wrap this one up. They'll be looking for the siren. We must be any moment away from the siren in this second quarter.
I'd really like to see more just knuckle down, go one-on-one and try and beat their opponents in a one-on-one situation.
Clearing hit didn't quite work for the Tigers. It comes out now to Luke Lockie Jones, who kicks it into the forward, but it's Chunky Duncan on the last line of defence, takes a very good mark. He's been good back there, Michael Duncan, and he's deep in the back pocket. He's going to go out. No, there's nowhere to go out near the scoreboard side. There's 2 or 3, so he has to come back this way, and there it is. That is the second quarter all done here on Gippsland Live TRFM, with all thanks to Isuzu Ute Gippsland, Victorian Regional Dealer of the Year in 2014, Princess Highway in Traralgon, LMCT 10285.
TRFM's 100K in 100 days. 100 winners.